Premier Doug Ford hasn't backed away from saying he wants Canada to stand up more to President Donald Trump and his tariffs. But Prime Minister Mark Carney says now is not the time, or should say now is the time to talk, not hit back. The two leaders met this afternoon to discuss their differences. Adam Atkinson joins us in studio with more on this. Adam.
Thanks, Taz. Just in the last few weeks, Ford has said that Trump drives him crazy and that he wasn't going to let Trump roll over Ontario. The Premier also told a crowd that he wanted the Prime Minister to fight like hell in a meeting with Trump. But Mark Carney is taking a calmer approach.
You better fight like hell, don't roll over, and keep fighting. He drives me absolutely crazy. He does. And we aren't going to roll over. I'm not going to let him roll over Ontario.
You can't question Premier Doug Ford's passion when it comes to U.S. tariffs. He was riled up because Stellantis announced this week it would move planned production of its Jeep Compass from Brampton to Illinois. Prime Minister Mark Carney says the CEO of Stellantis assured him the company would consider other vehicles for the plant.
Well, Premier Ford and I are both interested in results for, in my case, for workers and families across Canada. Of course, in his case, for the province of Ontario. And we're looking to work to those ends as constructively as possible.
While Ford is calling for retaliatory tariffs, the Prime Minister says now is the time to talk, not hit back against the U.S. on trade.
Well, I think Premier Ford wants to keep up his Captain Canada routine and, fight back hard. But I think Prime Minister Carney, who's, let's face it, is the one in charge of the negotiations on Canada's behalf, he's saying, no, now's not the time to hit back with retaliatory tariffs once again. We saw it before when we put them in. It just angered Trump. So when we're trying to get a new deal with the United States, adding in the retaliatory tariffs now, I think would just anger Trump again and send him, who knows where he'd go with the tariffs on that.
And that could be a problem. Ottawa's in negotiations right now with the U.S. on several tariff sectors, including energy, aluminum, and steel.
We're engaged in deep negotiations, intensive negotiations, on several sectors of the Canadian economy: energy, aluminum, and the steel sector. The steel sector, it's across Canada, but the bulk of the steel sector is right here in Ontario. And we want to make progress in those negotiations. I'll be briefing the Premier on the status of those negotiations.
Ford isn't the only Premier showing frustration over Canada's response to U.S. tariffs.
I think we're starting to see some cracks in the United Canada front, and Premier Ford and Carney are clearly on the different side of the issue with retaliatory tariffs right now. And we're also seeing other premiers talk about things like, let's lift the 100% tariff on Chinese EVs, which would, of course, be the death knell for the Ontario automotive industry.
Ford and Carney are also expected to talk about the levies affecting the auto, forestry, and manufacturing sectors and the coming review of Canada's Continental Trade Agreement.